Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky. Good morning. I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky. We're talking about the word try. I believe it was Yoda that said, "There is no try.
Only do."
Yes. What's the actual quote?
There isn't. I think that's it. There is no try, only do.
And I know there's been a couple times in my life where I've caught myself saying, I'll try. Do you remember our neighbor Tom, where he was like, hey, can you make it to the Christmas party? And we'll be like, well, we'll try.
That's the first thing that came up is when people invite you places and either you haven't looked at your calendar or you're like, I don't know if that's really what I want to do. So you want to come out and say, I'll try because I do want to spend time with you. But I don't know that I want to spend time with you at that point in time.
The minute you say it, you're like, I'm giving myself an out here. The minute you say, I'll try to make it, what you're really saying is, I don't really want to go. Yeah. If it works into my schedule, I may show up.
If there's absolutely nothing else that I can fill my time with at that point.
Right. That's exactly what you're saying. And when we become consciously aware of the language we are using, it's almost becoming a master of ourselves.
Yes.
I know that Joe Dispenza said it's almost like treating ourselves like a wild horse. And once we become that master that sits on the horse and says, no.
This is where we're going. This is what we're doing.
This is where we're going. This is exactly what we're doing. And I don't care if you buck, and I don't care if you neigh and try to go your own rogue path.
You can go your own way.
Thank you, Jason. This is what we're doing.
Yep.
And when we become consciously aware of the language we are using, because the language tells our brain what the permission parameters are.
Oh, permission parameters. That's huge. And we talked the other day about, do you have the commitment or are you looking for the convenience? And we're going to lean into that convenience whenever it's available. But if we have the permission parameters set up, then we eliminate.
When it's non-negotiable. This is a commitment. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And Jason actually called me out on this just yesterday. I know that if you listen to our podcast, you know that I've been in the stretch zone myself. And
the stretch zone is, if you haven't listened to episodes before this, the stretch zone is anywhere outside of your comfort zone.
And for me, my stretch zone as of late has been in the financial territory. I have been looking at investment properties and I have been stretching myself to really take responsibility of my financial freedom. And I have been looking into investing in different sorts of
real estate,
all sorts of real estate and cryptocurrencies and different markets and
tech.
I've just been educating myself and learning. We have been looking at some different real estate properties. I literally left a property that I loved yesterday. And it was exactly everything that I was looking for in the exact location. And I thought, this is perfect. All the bells were going ding, 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 ding. The only caveat is I was thinking, it's a little high in the price range. I'm not sure the banks are going to give me the loan. And in my head, I was thinking, we'll try. You
start building the evidence and building out the convenience factor to escape.
Because I didn't want to face rejection. And Jason actually caught me and he said, what do you mean try? This is going to happen. We just have to get creative and ask the questions. How are we going to make this happen?
Yeah. And it's just a learning. So we know that we're in this new process. And if we start building these convenience factors to allow ourselves out, then we eliminate those doors of learning opportunity as well.
I literally didn't want to get my feelings hurt by meeting with a lender or a financial advisor or any sort of, I mean, you put money in the sentence and all of a sudden I turn into a little turtle and go inside my shell. And I don't know why I do that.
Well, so immediately what popped into my head right now is Thomas Edison and his light bulb. It's like he's going to try to create this light bulb. No, he committed to it. So 10,000 ways that it doesn't work, he learned, and then he got the light bulb. KFC, they turned down Kentucky Fried Chicken, for those of you that aren't aware of KFC. But the banks and people turned down that recipe and that franchise opportunity hundreds of times until someone said, you know what, I like the taste of this. I'm going to loan you the money. Go ahead and start up your fried chicken establishment. And it became a huge success.
And it's just my ego. It's just my ego that's sitting here on my shoulders saying, I don't want somebody behind a desk to say, well, Jana, you don't make enough money in order to invest in this property. And I don't want to leave there going, oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I didn't fit all the criteria. I should just go get under my heating blanket and lay on the couch for a week and feel sorry for myself.
Because someone else has their permission parameters set up, and their permission parameters are set up on the average or statistical just commonality, and they're not allowing themselves to be creative and themselves to grow.
Now, when I make this a commitment and say, this is happening,
Hell or high water.
Yes. And I'm going to meet with a financial lender and I'm going to listen to whatever they tell me. And it's not failure, whatever they say. It's only feedback. And whatever they say to me, that gives me the information, the data to either pivot. And there's so many ways to raise money, to invest in a property. I can find partners. I can, look for other lenders.
Money's just energy. So there's a way to create energy. There's a way to create cash flow, way to create money. So, and then there's just the creativity in that.
And I just was so grateful that you pointed out to me that I said, oh, well, I'm going to try. Like I literally left the place and the guy said, well, I hope to see you back because, Monday was a very important point in the transaction. And he says, I hope to see you back on Monday. And I said, well, I'll try. Yeah. And then Jason was like, what do you mean try? This is happening. This is not a convenience project we're working on. This is a commitment. You said that you wanted your first investment property by the end of the year. Well, the clock is ticking, honey. The clock is ticking.
Yeah.
Let's stick to those goals and let's commit.
Yeah.
It's not convenience. Our goals, our dreams are not out of convenience. And that's the problem, is that so many times we put our dreams in the convenience category. And the minute that we do that, we give ourselves just a little avenue of the chicken exit.
Yeah, and this is way beyond just a financial investment into real estate or that growth, that stretch zone into financial freedom. It goes back to relationships. Like when you get married and you say, I'm committing to this, and you start exploring how can we make this work? How do we maintain this integrity and structure of this bridge between us instead of trying to knock it down and demolish it? Because if our needs aren't being met, it's because, or if we're feeling needy, it's because our needs aren't being met. And it's because we're allowing ourselves we're ignoring the permission parameters, and we're allowing ourselves these convenient outs along the way. And that's the saying, I'll try to commit to you at the altar. I'll try to commit to you in this relationship, instead of saying,
we don't try. We either do or we don't. Yoda was right. He was spot on this.
That's why he's Yoda. Like, I'm not your Yoda.
We don't try. We either do or we don't. Life, our dreams are not out of convenience. Either we want them or we don't. And I think sometimes that's a hard truth. But if you haven't made your dream happen, or if you're not pursuing it, that's up to you. That is your choice.
Wow.
Correct?
Yeah. That's why on my LinkedIn and on a lot of things, I put chase your dream, like the quality of your life depends on it. Because when you get to the end, when you get to the 11th hour, you start thinking, wow, I could have been a contender. I could have done this, but you didn't. You tried instead of committed.
I mean, it comes down, do you want it? Do you really want it?
You didn't put up your permission parameters. I love that permission parameters is something that I'm going to just hang on to, because I absolutely love it.
And that just came out.
I know. I know you're a genius, but
that was God speaking. God was speaking through me, and he said permission.
It's hard to say.
Permission parameters.
But it's meaningful and it's impactful. So if you can just set your permission parameters, it allows you to kind of put the dam up on your convenience causeways.
Oh my gosh. Now God was just speaking through Jason. Thank you. Thank you, God. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And it really comes down to, do you want it or don't you?
Yeah. And if you're not getting the things that you want out of life, if you haven't been able to commit, send us an email and let us figure out how we can kind of lean into you and help you with that.
It's not out of, now I'm regurgitating the same information,
because it's
and
so
I am
important.
getting excited.
It's important.
I am getting excited because I have some financial people I need to go meet with today. Did I ever think I would be excited to meet with financial people? We've just changed the energy.
Yep. When you make the commitment, it changes the state and the way you feel about
The
things.
turtle is coming out of the shell.
Hello. Turtle head.
Whoa! Just call me Yoda. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Keep living lucky.
There is no try. There's
Only
only do. Have a great day. Bye-bye. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.